Welcome back. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a while anyway, since I've done one of these videos. But I thought I'd give you a little update on my Manjaro journey. I have been getting asked about how it's going and where I'm at, because obviously the last time we spoke, I'd stopped taking it. And that was just before I had Endure 24. Now the good news is, if you haven't watched my other videos, I've done Endure 24 and things went pretty well for me. So I was foolish enough to tell you all that I was going for a 75-mile target, you know, trying to run 75 miles in less than 24 hours. Whew. Which even now when I say it seems like such a long way. But we managed it. I cracked it. I managed to get round and do the 75 miles. So if you haven't seen it, go and have a watch of the video. Let me know what you think. But it turns out that I actually stopped Manjaro at just the right time, because obviously the concern was that I wouldn't be able to fuel correctly throughout the whole 24 hours if, you know, my system's going to be slowing down in terms of digestion and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I stopped at the right time, because let me tell you, I ate like a king. I really was gluttonous over that weekend, purposely so. Because obviously to run that sort of distance, you need to be taking on a lot of fuel. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm really quite chuffed with how it went. Every lap, so every 8 kilometers or 5 miles, every single lap without fail, I ate food. I made sure that my wife, who was there crewing for me, who was an absolute angel, a godsend, she was very supportive and had food ready for me every lap. It was great. And I just kept eating and I kept drinking as well. And I think that was also the other secret, is I had 750 milliliters of liquid every single lap. I'd get to the halfway point of drinking water for 250 ml. The second half of the lap, I would be drinking high five, 250 ml. And at the end of each lap, when I was getting my food, I was also taking in 250 ml of Morton carb drink. So I was getting plenty of fluid the whole time, and also plenty of salt, because I was taking salt tablets every single lap without fail, because it was just so hot and we were sweating so much. I needed to make sure that I kept taking that stuff on. And that's where it got quite interesting. So I weighed myself, was it on the Thursday? The event was on the Saturday and Sunday. We go down on the Friday morning. So on the Thursday I weighed myself, and then I weighed myself again on the Monday. I was 10 pounds heavier. From Thursday to Monday, I was 10 pounds heavier. Now, obviously, that was largely because, well, one, I ate so much blooming food, you wouldn't believe. But also, two, with the amount of salt that I was taking and the fluid that I was taking in, I was holding on to lots of that. And pretty much most of that weight disappeared within a couple of days. And my God, did I spend a lot of time going for a number one and getting rid of all of that fluid. It was a lot. And at that point, I'd been off Manjaro for a good solid 3 weeks. And I'm still not where I want to be in terms of weight loss. Yes, I've lost a good amount of weight and all of that, but I'm still not where I want to be. I've still got a bit of a way to go, actually. I'm going to guess I'm somewhere between, well, I'm going to guess I'm probably 20 pounds from being happy. And 20 pounds off where I want to be, because I have still got a belly on me. So the option there is I carry on and try and lose weight without the Manjaro and just, you know, try and use a bit more willpower. Or I jump back onto it. And I made the decision, to be fair, I made the decision before I even went to Endure 24. I made the decision that I'd be going straight back on it again. But because it had been 3 weeks, I couldn't go back on the dose that I was on before. I had to obviously start again, because there was none left in my system. And I'd be a fool to just jump straight back in on the higher doses. So I did jump straight back onto it again on the 2.5 mils. And I'll be honest, I felt absolutely nothing. No difference whatsoever. But I did the full week on 2.5 mil. And after that week, I decided actually I'm going to jump up to the 5 mils. Now the 5 mils, again, you might remember way back when, would have been December time. Oh, it would have been December 2024. But way back in December 2024, when I went from the 2.5 mil to the 5 mil, it's doubling your dose. When I was back in that position where I'm going from 2.5 to 5 and I doubled the dose. And actually, had a day, but I would say probably just one day, where I was like, oh God, we're back here. And I had a dizzy spell again, just on the 5 mil. But it only lasted that one day. And then it disappeared. Anyway, that was what, a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks ago, and I am still on the 5 mil. This will be my second week ending now on the 5 mil, and I have decided that I am going to try and stay on the 5 mil for as long as possible, because what I'm thinking now is I've got to the point where I've lost a substantial amount of weight. I don't have huge amounts to go. 20 pounds is still a lot, but it's not. In comparison to 50, it's, it's not as much. Obviously, it is a bit harder to lose now because, well, it just is, because there's not as much to get rid of. Lost my trail of thought. Yeah, so I figure I'm going to stay on the 5 mil for as long as possible and just try and use that willpower a bit more. And so far, it seems to be working. So far, I'm in a really, I guess I'm in a really happy place at the minute, because I'm actually able to fuel and eat, I would argue, as much as I wanted. I don't get that, oh God, I'm full stop feeling. But I do get that control. I do feel like I've got that control to say, now's the time to stop eating. And I do that. But one thing that is a bit strange, which I don't think, and I don't remember, you'd have to check my videos. I'm sure somebody could fact check me here, but I don't think this happened before. I'm finding actually that I'm getting a bit of a sweet tooth, and I'm not so much wanting carbs. Carbs I can take or leave, is the truth, but I am getting a bit of a sweet tooth, which, let's be honest, is the old me rearing its head. I've had a sweet tooth for a long time, and I am finding that I'm getting a bit of a sweet tooth, but I am able to say, no, Freddy, we've had enough, put the cake away, step away, go for a run. So I'm going to keep on the 5 mils whilst I'm still in this position, because I feel like I've got control of it, and I do feel like I'm having a bit of a battle with it, but it's one that I'm comfortably winning. So I want to keep it that way. So I'm going to stay on that for as long as I can. I don't know how many times I've just said I'm going to stay on 5 milligrams for as long as I can, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to stay on 5 milligrams for as long as I can. Now, a couple of other things that I've really noticed lately, actually, and it's actually, I'll tell you what my wife said to me. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And I was almost got a little bit giddy when she said this to me. So, because I have only got sort of 15, 20 pounds to go, whatever it is, I actually feel like most of that weight is around my tummy now. There actually isn't that much fat left. There obviously is some, but there's not that much fat left everywhere else. It seems to be my tummy and my upper thigh, there's still a bit to go. So I've been clothes shopping and getting myself new clothes, and my wife has even bought me a couple of clothes. She was at the Levi shop last week and bought me a couple of t-shirts. So we're at that point now where I'm starting to build my wardrobe again. And I'm really enjoying it, actually, because I spent so many years, and I mean that, years, buying black t-shirts and whatever else, that my fashion, I don't want to call it a fashion sense, but certainly I don't know, the way that I was dressing was the way that somebody dresses that doesn't really care. And I just lost my way a little bit in terms of looking after myself from a presentation point of view, should we say. I was never scruffy, I don't think. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure somebody will say that I was. But I just wasn't into it as much, largely because just most things just didn't fit me right, or just didn't look right, or I wasn't confident enough to wear them. But we're getting to the point now where I am, and I'm adding a little bit of colour into my life. I've even got a couple of white t-shirts now, which I would never wear. But my wife said something to me the other day. She actually said she found the way I was dressing to be quite sexy now. I'm like, I'm sexy. But she genuinely said that to me. It made me feel good, whether she meant it or not. It made me feel good. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm still getting used to it. I'm still getting used because 50 pounds is big. It's heavy. It's changed my shape in so many different areas. But I'm getting used to it, because that's the other thing, is ordering clothes has been quite tricky. When I'm ordering clothes online, obviously if I go to a shop, I can try it on and know if it fits or not. But if I order something online, I'm kind of rolling the dice or not whether it's going to fit. Yes, I know you can return things very easy now and all of that, but it's just the palaver and the hassle of doing all of that, so I'd rather not. And I kept ordering the wrong sizing. I kept ordering, because bear in mind, I'm coming from a double XL that was fairly tight in places. And I kept ordering XL, but actually I'm a large now. I am just a large. I think just about every brand that I've got, mostly, is large. And I would argue that some brands I could probably wear a medium. I haven't bought any yet, but yeah, a couple of my larges, I'm thinking, oh, not be long. But that's not a plan, that's not a target or anything like that. I think if I stay in a large, I'll be quite happy. Again, I mean, none of that really matters. The sizing doesn't matter. It's just I'm more happy about where we've come from, where we've come to, and the options that it now gives me. Because now I can wear clothes that I wouldn't wear previously. Don't get me wrong, I'm not cutting around in a thong and a crop top. But I wouldn't do that anyway. Well, maybe on the weekend. So other than that, I don't really have anything to report. I've definitely adjusted well, coming back to the 5 milligrams. No side effects at all. Yes, I had the dizzy spell on one day in the first week of the 5 milligram, but nothing since. So all is good. And I am just going to potter on as we are. You might find that these weight loss injections don't come as much or as often as they were doing previously. Largely that's because nothing really to report. Okay, it's kind of, I don't see the value in me making videos that are just saying everything's as it was. If anything does change, I will obviously let you know, and I will keep you in the loop, just not as often as I was. But certainly if I end up going up or down a dose or anything like that, or we get to the point where I say I'm coming off of it altogether, again, I will obviously let you know. So please do stick around. There will be some more of that content. I just need to figure out the best way for me to do it. I have been saying as well that I was going to share some stories of other people, and I still want to do that, but I've got an idea that I'm toying with, and I've spoken to a couple of people already, and they provided me pictures, they provided me a little bit of backstory, and they provided me permission to share. And I want to do that, but actually I'm thinking of doing it in a slightly different way. I don't want to give that away though. I don't want to give anything else away other than that. I'm going to make some more plans for it, and if it comes off, I will obviously, well, you'll see it. If it comes off, you'll see what I'm talking about. So bear with me. There will be some more content coming, but with my journey and my weight loss injection use, just expect that might slow down slightly. But I will, yeah, I'll keep you up to date. Right, so thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around, and I will speak to you soon. Keep it positive.